So with the Object 292 grind coming to a end pretty soon, whether you're going for the 750k or you're just keeping the vehicle and kind of just enjoying it, as it is, we now have seen kind of what these events are going to be like. And even now, we've seen that they've released a devlog for the next event vehicle, which is going to be a Jaguar for India, which only has one gun instead of two, 30 millimeters. It should be about the same as the one in the British tech tree, already at 10.3. But at the same time, it's kind of really surprising to me that we're already getting a vehicle, in my opinion, that is kind of dedicated towards collectors and not really something that I would say people want to go after, especially since this is going to be the first air vehicle. I mean, I'm not really sure why they picked a Jaguar, which is basically just a copy paste from within the tech tree itself. But at the end of the day, this kind of just is what it is at that point. So what I really wanted to talk about in this video, and it was a video that I had made already, but they did release the, devlog of the Jaguar. So kind of had to redo it, but at the end it is what it is too. But the thing about it is I wanted to talk about the kind of like my experience of how the grind went around the Object 292 and kind of just how I felt about the event in general. So to be honest with you, it was kind of easy. And I don't mean that in the sense of like it was just easy to get, everything done, definitely time commitments and, the amount of time that you have to play the game is a very crucial factor into, was it easy or not? But for me, at least, I kind of just enjoyed playing the mid ranks. I mean, I went around and played some of America, especially with the Battle Pass challenge. I went around and played some vehicles I haven't played in a very, very long time, like the P26 E1, and got a nuke with it. And funny enough, for some reason, every single day, I think I got at least a one nuke doing the challenge whenever it came to grinding for the Object 292. Now, the thing about it is that the days that I didn't have anything to do on, like what I mean by that is that I didn't have a Battle Pass challenge to go for, or I didn't have specials that I could do, were incredibly boring because I found myself just looking at the actual, score more often than I did on the Battle Pass challenge days where I was trying to get like rocket kills or I was trying to do different things. And like I said in the past about grinding War Thunder, if you're looking at your grind the whole time, you're going to kind of notice it goes slower. But if you preoccupy yourself, whether it be in Discord or with friends, whether it be doing certain challenges within the games like battle passes or, doing, the historical holiday, skins, all that sort of stuff, the grind just seems to go faster to me at least. And I've heard this from a lot of people that kind of quit focusing on the raw numbers each time they come out of a battle, that it just feels better to just look at it when it's done or be surprised that it's done than just like inspecting your score every single game that you come out of battle. And to be honest, I mean, I kind of agree that it is pretty easy to do whenever it comes to actually getting it done. But like I said in the video that I made first whenever I talked about this, is the fact that this is going to be a constant. As you see now, you can get the Object 292 today, and they've already released the devlog for the air task, which is a Jaguar. So yeah, I mean, it's just going to be non-stop grind, and I feel like it's going to burn people out. Definitely coming off the grind of the 292, I still feel like playing War Thunder, but I can definitely see myself, towards the starting of the end of the year, maybe in like September or something, where, there's newer games coming out, definitely, that time of the year is whenever, the new Call of Duties or new anything's just coming out. And I would rather play that than grind for an event vehicle just constantly. And for me, at least, I enjoyed the grinds of like the winter and summer events whenever it was just, get 3 vehicles done fast as you can, and then you can just do whatever you want with the rest of your time. To me, at least, those were just better. And this one is just going to be a huge drag to me, at least, whenever it comes to just constantly having to do something within War Thunder. So now let's talk about some improvements that I would do towards the grind of the new event vehicle style. And the number one thing is the 750 score. While it is quite a lot to actually sell the vehicle itself, I wish there was another reason to go after it other than just selling the vehicles, whether it be through a title, whether it be through, some special stuff that you get for getting 750. I feel like that should be rewarded more than it is just selling the vehicle. Now, I understand selling the vehicle is a pretty huge deal for a lot of you, but for me, at least, someone who's going to be keeping the vehicle, I have no incentive at all to actually grind out the 750. And I wish I did, for a title, for, a cool camo, or, maybe some, discounts or something like that. I think it'd be really cool if you get to 750 and it's like, hey, you get a half-spaded event vehicle or something like that, like you're kind of doing with the Jaguar now, where you get to the ninth task, you actually get, some free mods for your vehicle, which makes it a little bit easier to play. And for me, at least, I feel like there should be some sort of incentive, and I wish they would kind of change that. So the second thing is, and gladly they're actually doing it, is that you're able to kind of decrease the amount of G that you need to pay to actually get your task done. So let's just say that you have a pretty decent day, but you're running out of time. Maybe you have to, go to sleep or something like that. And, you're not going to be able to finish that task for that day. Well, now, instead of paying 999 GE, it will kind of be a little bit lower, depending on how much that you do. If you do half a task, it should probably be half. And then if you go all the way down to let's just say 80% or something, it should probably be a quarter of the price. And then, it should be easier to get. So honestly, that is probably a really good change. It was a suggestion that I would suggest to actually add within this type of event stuff. But luckily, it seems like Gaijin has already started to implement this sort of thing. Now, the next thing is kind of a thing whenever it comes to the score that I wish they would kind of change. Now, that is the fact of that there's some vehicles within War Thunder that are just completely inferior to doing these types of events. If you want to know how to get these events done as quickly as possible, just take the most meta vehicle you have, stuff like the KV-1E, the KV-1B, KV-220s, different vehicles that that can just pop off and get a ton of score, a ton of kills, ton of caps, all that sort of stuff to just get a ton of score, right? The thing about it is that these style of events kind of support that as being the way to quickly get these events done. And I kind of don't like that because it doesn't really, entice people to play different vehicles. It doesn't entice people to spade vehicles, or it doesn't, say, hey, maybe you want to play the M109 like I was doing the seventh day of the task, I believe, and Fanatical Freeman and Red Ned were both playing KV-220s. If you want to know kind of the disparity, I mean, I'm way above an average player, right? But just because I was playing M109s, I was around 15,000 score behind the KV-220s just because they could do way better than I could. And we basically started all playing at around the same time. So for me, at least, I wish there was a modifier for tank destroyers or, off meta vehicles, or, maybe Gaijin can just go in and each task, there's just a new vehicle that has, or not just one vehicle, but a set of vehicles that have a bonus multiplier to it that maybe doesn't see a lot of play. And, it can also kind of help whenever it comes to collecting data for, statistics, whenever it comes to balancing these vehicles, because as there's some vehicles in game that just don't see any play. And, maybe it can entice people to actually play, different things than just, drop in with their KV-220s or KV-1Es or, all that sort of stuff whenever it comes to War Thunder. So, and then finally, I wish that the Call of the Dragon event was actually related to China. I mean, funny enough, that Object 292 is a pretty cool vehicle. It would have been cool if it was actually in the tech tree and all that sort of stuff. But at the same time, the event name was literally Call of the Dragon, and the Object 292 was the event vehicle, which to me at least just seems a little bit crazy. Definitely they were coming out with a bang whenever it comes to actually giving something for people to grind out. But it would have been cool if it actually related to the historical event that, that they kind of promoted, which was Call of the Dragon. Honestly, I feel like these types of events are going to be pretty cool. I don't think there's a huge negative to them other than, the time commitment to them. And for me, at least, the way that I'm seeing it right now is that, you're going to have kind of the pick and choose, especially if you don't have the time investment of what, vehicles you want, whether it be, this new Jaguar that's coming up, whether it be this Object 292, you're just going to have to kind of just see what you think you want. And I don't think there needs to be just an incentive to just, get everything, especially for just normal players. Definitely I will recommend stuff whenever it comes to these types of events. I will get test drives of them. I'll get, be able to play them even without owning them and all that sort of stuff. So I'll give my kind of feedback on them if you should actually get them. And for me, at least, the Object 292, while it's a very unique vehicle, it's not the greatest in the world. I mean, it's going to be good, but I mean, it's not the most meta-defining vehicle ever in War Thunder, and it's just unique to have to me. And I feel like that's what's kind of important about these sort of events within War Thunder. And then also this Jaguar that's coming up, I don't really think you need it unless you're a collector, unless you really like Indian stuff whenever it comes to, that sort of area of War Thunder. I don't really see a huge, incentive to get another Jaguar, which just is going to have magics, and it's going to have guided bombs, which we already have one in the tech tree that kind of already has that. And for ARB, to be honest, the Jaguars have not always been that great, and you're losing one gun, which, you only had 2 missiles to begin with, so it's not really going to be a great air superiority fighter, especially with just one Aiden, or if it's a Defa, but, they're kind of the same gun. But yeah, it is what it is. What do you guys think about these events whenever it comes to War Thunder? Do you want to play more of them? Do you want crafting events to come back? There's going to be that big country that really wants crafting events to come back. But no, at the end of the day, I feel like they're fair enough. But I really wish there was just some minor improvements to the event. And I feel like we would be in a really good place whenever it comes to grinding out events within War Thunder. So I hope everyone has a wonderful day, and we'll see you guys in the next War Thunder video.